Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a very special live developer chat. This weekend is a special event. What's so special about it, you might ask? I will tell you right after a word from our sponsor. No, just kidding. So we have a very nice screenshot. It's kind of blurry though. I don't know what's going on there. What could be happening? I don't know. Maybe we'll get an explanation there in a few minutes. We'll have to wait and see. So this week, the pace of both the number of bugs left is much reduced. I think there's like 28 now. I solved 22 bugs fixed. It wasn't no 47 bug week, but they're getting more difficult because I do the easiest ones first. So, at this point, if I can get like two done in a day, then that's a good day. Because the remaining things are either hard to reproduce or it's something that's like a very big task to resolve. The material blending method for multi-material painting has been tweaked a little bit. So now, in order to make a property paint over the underlying surface, it needs to have a texture for that property. So in other words, if you want the normals to be modified, it has to have a more normal map. If you want the color to be modified, the material you're painting on has to have a base color texture. And this allows you to do things like painting just the roughness or modifying just the normals without changing the color, or changing the color without modifying the normals. So it's more powerful this way. Just a little bit of an improvement. This is how we changed the decals to work this way last week. So it allows a little bit more flexibility and you have more options as an artist. And another important development is the project manager, the project creation system. It will now automatically detect and insert C++ code and header files into the newly created Visual Studio project. Now, this is an important step because we were talking quite a lot about tutorials a couple of weeks ago. And initially I thought, okay, we'll just, everything that the tutorials will use will just be a standard component. And after a while, I realized that's not going to work. You can't make like a set of components that handles every single game that you want to make, because then if you change like one thing in one game, the way it works, then it's going to affect all these other games. Instead, I plan to treat each example game as its own kind of isolated system with its own set of components, and I'm not going to attempt to do interoperability between different games. So in other words, I'm not going to try to make the whatever code I create for a racing game. I'm not going to try to make that work with an RPG. And this is an important step towards that because this allows each template to store its own code files and for them to just be automatically inserted into that Visual Studio project, which this is something that Leadwerks never had. Leadwerks 4 never had. So this is a really good thing. Okay.
So when you make a new C++ project, now you have the option just to have the main CPP and that's it in the resource files? Or,
It will include whatever C++ uh, files are in the template directory.
all right, but okay, so
And the
again, I have
base
to,
template includes the optional Steamworks code, the encryption code for zip packages, and the base set of components that are used in every project.
all right.
You can always remove those if you don't need them.
Yeah, but sometimes when you update, it wants to pull missing files because I don't think that we got there yet with the templates. But all right, well, we'll cross
You
the
can
bridge.
also set the in the options you can set it so that it won't update certain files, and it supports wildcards now.
All
Um,
right, we'll cross the bridge when we get there.
so we've been okay. So as you probably know, I wrote the program 3D World Studio, aka SCP editor, which was used in the creation of the game SCP Containment Breach, together with the Blitz 3D programming language by Mark Sibley. And there's some features in the new engine that are sort of related to like Quake modding and stuff like that. And I have some and I come from a modding background, and so these there's been I've had a lot of ideas of like modding, but I wasn't really sure exactly how it would work out. And I have this I have a historical connection to the SCP franchise. I have a lot of connections to that. So the new game engine is so great that I thought, well, wow, I've this tool. This is just about perfect. I want to make a game with it, and I didn't know what kind of game to make, but I thought a few months ago I started talking to the people who are now the current team, Stephen and Andy, and I said, hey, what if we made a new SCP game? And this is it. This is a scene from the. This is one of the more science fiction-y areas. This is a nice hallway, like an art test that we're working on. What's the defining features of this game? Why is this game special? Well, SCP Redacted is puts you in an interactive, immersible world where you solve puzzles and navigate obstacles a variety of ways using your wits and tactile physics-based interactions. I like a lot of physics. I like physics in games. I like a lot of small gameplay puzzles. I like a lot of interaction. And now since I have like full control over the code and the engine, I can really code anything that players can imagine is really no problem. Enemies. I love programming AI. Your antagonists have complex behaviors and goals influenced by light, sound, motion, and a variety of internal and external factors. Now, my background is actually in neurobiology, and I feel that I utilize some of that when I'm programming the behavior of different enemies and such. And what we have, I don't have anything to show you yet, but it's very, very cool. And again, it's so great because, I know like every aspect, the whole engine works exactly the way I want to, and so I can really make this do anything I want. And there was actually this is why there was back in like, I don't know, the middle of January, there was a lot of updates about involving the navigation mesh pathfinding system. That's what that at the time I was doing a lot of AI programming, and so we'll be able to show some of that off at a later time, and it's really, really fantastic. I love the way that your enemies behave in this game. And then finally, this is going to be the most moddable SCP game ever. It's going to include SCP Editor 2. 3D World Studio was SCP Editor 1. This is SCP Editor 2, with a full suite of modern mod creation tools to bring your scariest ideas to life. So you can make levels, you can make new scripted objects in the game and enemies and such. I come from a modding background, and so does Steven. And so what we're going to do is take the new editor and just tweak it a little bit, maybe reskin it a little bit, and distribute it along with the game as SCP Editor 2 for use as a dedicated modding tool. So again, on this project, SCP Redacted, Steven is the lead environment artist. This is alphabetical order by last name. Uh, I'm Josh. I'm the lead programmer on this. And Andy is the lead artist. He's doing all of our textures and most of our models and decals and painting and such. There's a web page up right now. If you go to ultraengine.com/scp, I snuck it into the header, the website header, just before this meeting started. And on the web page, you can go and there's a mailing list you can sign up for, and there's also a Discord server linked to from there that you can join, dedicated to the game. Let's take a look at that page. Whoa! What's this? Where did this come from? I don't know. It's listed right up there. SCP Redacted. From the creator of the original Containment Breach level editor comes a terrifying new vision of the SCP universe. There's a link to the game's Discord server. There's another screenshot for you of a more officey area. Very nice. And then there's a newsletter here that you can sign up for and get any alerts about the game's development, any news. Yep, thank you for, there's the, that. So, I've been sitting on this for like 3 months, but now we're finally able to reveal a little bit more information about it. Any questions from you guys?
I have. Sorry, I have.
Hold on, let me make sure my audio isn't going through my headphones.
Issues. Oh,
That's better.
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. It's just if I'm using the headphones, then it will prevent the microphone won't pick it up twice, so it'll prevent feedback.
Well, first of all, I gotta say that that's pretty interesting that you've decided to stick with SCP franchise this way, and also interesting wording regarding from the creator of Containment Breach. Well, editor. But I do have a question regarding the licensing of the game then, because SCP Foundation is a wiki. It uses Creative Commons BYSA share-like license, which means that the work, yeah, I see, okay.
Yep, we linked to it right here.
Does it mean that the game will have that source code open?
Well, the there's a lot of SCP games that are made with different game engines, and they can't release the game engine's source code, of course. And there's also a lot of SCP games that don't release their source code.
Yeah, true. But the license, this Creative Commons license, as far as I know, does mean that someone can take your game, resell it, and as long as he gives credits to you, he's fine. That's the issue. Why there's like this SCP Foundation, like it's so cool. Why no like big company like, I don't know, Netflix or like Amazon takes and makes a series about it? Well, because they can, because of this licensing thing. This is why it's so complex about it.
I'm not sure that's accurate. Can you distribute SCP-5K? Can you download it and get its source code and upload it for your friends to play?
I think they. I would actually have to ask the developers about that specifically. I have contacts with them, but I was like, maybe like if I'm wrong, then like okay, I would like to get better hold on it. But there was like a thing with, for example, SCP Containment Breach Ultimate Edition being re-uploaded on Steam by other people and rebranded a little bit, and that was what I'm going with?
Well, we don't
'Cause-
claim any ownership of the SCP uh, content. Um, we only own the pieces. We only own our own code and stuff that's proprietary. We don't have
it,
exclusive rights to the SCP name or the ideas within the wiki.
I understand that. I think it is possible to do the multi-licensing thing. That I think SCP-5K developers did that. They said that everything like that is Unreal Engine thing that is like has one license, and then everything that SCP related is like the Creative Commons. But another thing I want to ask is regarding the 3D World Studio. What's about it?
Yeah,
You decided
I
to.
can't talk about it in public, but I've got another meeting after this. It's pretty late for you right now, isn't it?
Well, it's around 9 p.m.
Oh, it's not as late as I thought. Okay, let's talk sometime this weekend because I do have something to talk to you about, but I can't talk about it publicly right now.
But you didn't forgot about it. Okay.
Of course not.
All right.
But
That's
you were
that's
asking
good.
me like, what's your interest in all of this? Okay, now hopefully this gives you a little bit better idea of like where I was coming from.
Okay. But overall, it's I'm looking forward for this. I like the fact that you're deciding to stick with like modability for this, and especially for the engine itself being moddable. It is a really big thumbs up, I think, because what I few of my future projects probably will be on Unreal Engine, but the one thing that I don't really like about it is that I can't do modding much with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't let people do some own stuff without like, oh, you have to download like this and that. You have to extract this file, so make them special loader for this. It's like, yeah, it's not sure. Maybe I will try at some point at Leadwerks, see if it sticks with me. Um,
Yeah, modding is core to this project, and the and us having our own in-house engine allows us to do that. So we want to support that as much as possible because I was a modder too, and it was very frustrating when I couldn't do something because of legal issues or just access issues. So no, we want to support our modders.
Yeah, modding is great, and it's that was like when I was into like Quake and stuff like that. Like that, like the modding was more fun to me than the actual game. Um, so yeah, I think that's going to be a big part of it. Both programming and
okay,
level design and custom objects and enemies and whatnot.
that's nice. Regarding just something that I've noticed, one of the screenshots that you showed in the presentation, I think it's the third one in the list there. Um, before that, yeah, this one, yeah. Is it SCP Unity screenshot?
No, no. The character is we're using that as a stand-in because we're all programming environmental artists. None of us are character artists. The character is, but everything else is all the environment is all created from scratch.
Oh, okay, because the walls here and like a few details, it reminds me of well, basically a project that was aiming to be a remake of SCP Containment Breach on Unity engine. And this screenshot, let me see if I will be able to find. Here we go. Let me send it in the voice chat here.
Let's see. Huh.
Yeah, see, like you can see the walls, like with the texture thing. I mean, I'm not like I'm just saying it's nice. It's an interesting detail I found.
Yeah,
Well, we
The
it's
looked
it's
at
project
a
a
lot
was
of
the project was
no.
abandoned anyway, so yes, you can like use the ideas from there.
well
Well,
we
we looked
took
at a
we
lot of
yeah we
SCP
looked at a
games.
lot of different existing SCP games because we want to create something new, but we also want it to be relatable to what people know.
or
Hmm.
have established. I think there's a lot of things like how certain things look and should feel. I think there's been like a silent agreement on how a lot of that stuff has been established. Not even if it's like outside the wiki, but of course games they're like, oh, like they have this and they do this, but we always want to put our own spin on it to make our game stand out.
Yeah, we're
Mm.
trying to like it's we want it to be both relatable to the other games that are out there, but we also want to um, extend the ideas, and that's kind of what you see with the walls here. Like some of this is a very common thing that you see in a lot of SCP games actually, and we just had our own take on it. Um,
Yeah, the wall with two colored stripes.
Yeah,
yeah, the
yeah,
checkered
well,
floors, stuff like that. So yeah,
Yeah,
we want it to be relatable to the games that people know.
we was
Okay.
sitting a long time on yeah, capture the right look and feel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's interesting. I wonder if you can like have some partnership with the SCP-5K developers. Maybe you together can like share resources, make the project, expand.
Yeah, I mean, we're open to talking to any other developers out there that are interested. If they think there's some kind of potential for collaboration, we're open to that.
Okay, sure.
Any other questions? All right. Before we continue any further, now's the time that I thank everybody who's given us a thumbs up on Steam, where we have 96% positive reviews for the new engine. T Tiki, Drogowit, The Cuzzy, Cap Crunch, Metal OS, Acknowledgia, Knievels, Ricochet, Andy, Geshish Master, Marcy 3D, Gamer, Saru, 71, Mazel, Timmy! You, Placer, Gravitate Games, Lilybite, Wreckage, Technofox, Casmic, Doctor Who 3DGX, JD Gaming, Reap Blue, Anthony Python, CZX 18888, Eidolon Trick, Merrick IJC, Kent, Old Amsterdam, Drake Black, Merrick, Project Mayhem, Pedrito, James W. Harden, Troyanator, Altitude, Lucky Luke, Slick 29, Gavaris 3, Waxy, Renha, and this week, Damien. Thank you, Damien. Appreciate your thumbs up. It makes a big difference, and thank you very much. So
yes,
next week I just have planned more bug fixes, small little adjustments that I don't make a big deal out of them. Uh, I'll just paste something about it in the release notes if I make some little small improvement here and there. But yeah, we're down to like 27, 28 bugs, something like that. We were down from like 30 and like 90 a couple weeks ago. So it's going pretty quickly, and we're approaching the full release. So I'll just be doing bug fixes and documentation. Any other questions, you guys, about the game, about the engine? I feel that this really is going to help, and it already has really helped uh, make the engine better because I'm more aware of the issues that you're likely to run into
yeah,
as the engine gets used. Um,
yeah. Some of the improvements have been my requests because they're like, "Oh, Josh, I really want this, or I really need this, or this is broken. Please fix." So
yeah, the best way to make the best game development experience possible is by using it ourselves, and so that you don't have to be the first person who's actually making a game with it. So that's all I got for this week. Do you guys have any questions?
yeah, yeah. So the link to the site is up as long as the Discord link is up. I probably will repost this in general later, but yeah, just let you know.
ultraengine.com/scp. Check it out.
Yeah,
Join the Discord server. Join the mail list.
Yep, we got mailing list too. All good stuff.
All right, so I will bring the video to a close now. Stop recording.